The communicative aspect of intercultural communication. The concept of communication and its essence. Features and structure of intercultural communication. Exercise 1. Describe the concept of communication. Describe the concept of communication. Find the difference between the concepts of communication and communication. Specific features of the ISC. Intercultural relations. Macroculture, microculture, subculture. Value orientations of the sociocultural group. Attitude to nature, attitude to time, relation to space, attitude to the nature of communication, attitude to personal freedom of an individual, attitude to the nature of man himself. Attitude to nature. Nature is perceived as controlled by man. Nature is perceived as being in harmony with him. Nature is perceived as limiting it. Each culture has its own language of time, which must be learned before communicating in it. In cultures with a predominantly past orientation, the emphasis is on tradition, close kinship and family ties. Present orientation is manifested in those cultures where people are not interested in the past, and the future for them is uncertain and unpredictable. Relationship to space. In accordance with the parameter, attitudes towards the space of culture are subdivided into those in which the predominant role belongs to public space, personal space. Attitude to communication, highly contextual, low context. Attitude towards personal freedom, individualistic, collectivist. Attitude to human nature. This criterion is based on the characteristics of a person's character and his attitude to generally accepted norms and other people. In accordance with this approach, human nature admits that a person can be vicious, and therefore requires control over his behavior. There are cultures that consider man to be inherently sinful. In such cultures, the concepts of good and evil, good and bad, are clearly defined. Great importance is attached to these concepts, since the main cultural values of a given society are based on them. The opposite of this type are cultures in which the essence of a person is considered initially positive, and since a person is positive in himself, the concept of good and bad is relative, since it depends on specific circumstances. Standards of conduct and laws must be applied flexibly in these cultures, and their violation or non-compliance can bring positive results.